So what are some habits that help me stay very productive? As you can tell from my videos, I work at an investment bank. I'm an online fitness coach. I'm starting a podcast quite soon. I have 2 YouTube channels and I still need to find the time to train and recover. So how do I do all of it and not crash and burn? Let's dive into it. The first thing anyone can do from today is literally sign up to a gym and train. There are so many cognitive benefits to training, which I won't dive into in this video. But what you guys can do is find a time to train that works for you. For me, that's 5 a.m. in the morning before work because, I'm an early person. I like to wake up in the morning. For you, it might be midday or after work, but the key is to find a time you can train and do it consistently. And it doesn't really matter if it's a gym. It could be the gym, it could be kickboxing, it could be swimming. What you want to do is to perform an exercise that more or less allows your heart to work, which allows blood flow to go to your brain quite easily. And I'm telling you, it makes such a huge difference. And if, for example, for whatever reason, you can't get access to a gym or a swimming pool, you can literally work out at home, literally do like a circuit set, which actually I'll drop on my fitness YouTube channel eventually, but go subscribe to that too. Do some workouts at home. And if you can't work out from home, honestly, just go for a jog or a long walk, get 10K steps in, and honestly, it makes such a huge difference. The second thing you need to do is to try and master your recovery. And honestly, for recovery, the most important part is your sleep. And how do you know if you sleep enough, you don't sleep enough? There's no blanket amount of hours everyone needs. Like, the amount of sleep you need is literally dependent on what you do during the day and the kind of person you are. For you, it might be 5 hours. For me, it might be 8 hours. For my sister, it's probably like 12 hours. And it's all dependent on what you do during the day and how much you actually task yourself. So for me, I know for the last 8 years, I've slept for 6 hours consistently and I feel fine the next day. For you, that might not be the case. So what you need to do is for a week or for like a month, actually try and sleep and wake up at a certain time each day. So for example, Monday to Friday this week, try and sleep at 10 p.m. and wake up at 5 a.m. for the rest of the week and see how your mood behaves and if you feel refreshed. If you don't, increase the amount of hours you need to sleep for. So sleep at 10 and wake up at 6 a.m. and you continue to do that experiment until actually find what works for you. And honestly, that's what it takes. For me, all throughout high school, I slept at 10 p.m. and woke up at 5 a.m. So I know for me, if I have 6 hours of sleep, 7 hours, even 5 hours, I'm completely fine. But if I sleep for like 3 or 4 hours, I'm a complete wreck the next day. Because the thing is, if you have a bad night's sleep, your concentration at work will be very low. And honestly, we all know this. We try and mitigate this with coffee, but honestly, there's nothing better than a good night's sleep. The next thing you could do is do the most important task when you have the most energy, which is typically in the morning. So how do I actually manage that? And what I do is I more or less time block my day to make sure in the morning, at least I have between 9 and 12 or 9 and 1, I have 2 hours where I can get a lot of work done. And once that's time blocked on your calendar, no one apart from maybe your manager will try and put a meeting there because it shows you're unavailable. So that's what I really do, honestly. And it's the best thing because when you have the most energy, you want to perform the hardest task, but also the task that gives the most benefit. So for example, imagine a grid, hard task, low benefit, hard task, high benefit. You want to perform that because if it's a hard task, but the benefit's quite low, and when I mean benefit, I mean we're completing that task, make you look good to other people. So it might be a model that needs to be seen by a VP or ED, on an email that needs to go out to an MD, or a task that will give some visibility outside of your team. Honestly, prioritize those tasks in the morning because it makes a huge difference. You do it fresher, you're going to be more accurate with that. And obviously in investment banking, we work long hours, but anyone can tell you the stuff you do at 10 p.m., 11 p.m., 9 p.m., more or less after like 3 p.m., more times than not, you have to do it again the next day because you're so tired. You think you're doing it correctly, but more times than not, it's never correct. If you're enjoying the video so far, please drop a like below and leave a comment. It goes a long way. The next thing I do is I work in blocks. If I'm at home, I'm in the office, even if I'm doing just a simple YouTube edit, I try not to work at a stretch for more than 40 minutes because after 40 minutes, you more or less can't concentrate anymore and there's no point trying to deceive yourself and you're at your desk, more or less just looking at the screen and not doing any real work. What you should do after 40 minutes, leave your desk and go for a walk. And don't go for a walk in the building, go for a walk outside and get some fresh air and then come back after 10 minutes. I'm telling you, it makes such a huge difference. And when I'm working, I literally remove all distractions from my desk. Literally my phone is my bag. It's out of sight, out of mind because when your phone is on your desk, you tell yourself, don't pick it up, but you end up picking it up. So put your phone in your bag or somewhere you can't see it, lock in your locker if it gets to that point. Also, I have no litter on my desk, very clear workspace because I believe clear workspace equals to clear mind. If your workspace is dirty, it more or less agitates you. Like you just feel like, why is this wire there? Why is this paper there? My workspace is literally clear because I think when you have a clear workspace, you can just get stuff done more efficiently. Also, in terms of removing distractions, I make sure I have my headphones on all the time when I'm working. And please, if your headphones are on, are you doing something very important? Don't play music with lyrics. You can listen to a beat because that's fine. But if you have lyrics on your headphones, you're going to make a mistake in your work because you're more or less reciting those lyrics and you think, oh, I can listen to music or podcast. You can't listen to a podcast and do any important work. I'm sorry, because you're trying to work on this model or this like analysis and you listen to someone else talk about something in your ear. Those two can't work. And I know why people deceive themselves and say, hey, what are you doing? Oh, I'm just working, listening to a podcast. That means the work you're doing might be so mundane or easy, then that's fair enough. But if it's not, as a real piece of work, please listen to a beat or just have your headphones on and have it noise cancelling, so that way you can't hear anything and you can just focus on your work. Now, the last thing I'll touch on is to know your limit, which sounds very funny, but I know for me, Monday to Wednesday, I can give my all. I can wake up at 5 a.m., sleep at 11 p.m., repeat, and to mitigate that, on Thursday, I don't go to the gym, and also I finish work quite early, so I try and finish at like 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. just so I can get refreshed and be ready for Friday to Sunday, because the worst thing is you don't know your limit. I just keep on drinking coffee to stay awake throughout the night, and honestly, too much coffee is not the best for you, or too much caffeine, so make sure you know your limit. For you, you might be able to grind from Monday to Thursday, that's fine. For you, might only be one day and you need the next day off, and honestly, that's fine. Just make sure that when you access your limit, you know the kind of job you're getting into. If you work for an investment bank, you more or less have to grind 4 out of 5 days of the week, and if that's not for you, find a job where it's quite laid back. You can finish at 5, get to the office at 9 a.m. and that will work for you. So thanks for watching the video, guys. Hope you found that useful, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.